Alright, we're going to continue this in the backyard now. Alright, you ready? Our co-host Jake is no longer with us. He's inside. He's eating because he's weird. He doesn't eat until we're home. So here's your roof stuff. Roof damage. You got damage right here too, so something hit pretty hard there. There's still limbs and stuff on top, which I'll get that cleaned off too. And see how you have peeled shingles? They're not broke, they're just peeled back. So I'm thinking if we do try to do some type of claim, it might be worth it. So here's the deck scenario. And by the way, it's a big puncture in your wall. I wanted to point that out to you too, because those are all things that, and I think that you took a big stress crack up here. So all this I think is worth looking at least to see what they would do. Okay, now moving along to your deck, if I can try to do this quietly. The deck is fine. The actual foundation is good. By the way, all this was covered with shit everywhere. It's all raked up and good to go now. The railing, as you can see, is what took the brunt of the damage. So even the bottom's kind of fine too, and it's sturdy. It's just all this. I'm not going to touch any of this because in case you want insurance people to look at it, they're supposed to be left like this, so we're going to leave the deck alone. So all that got raked up. We were going to cut the grass, by the way, but yes, your cord is messed up, so let's push this away. Where Mike didn't finish pushing it away, and I'll put a cover over that when I get off this thing. So, yep, backyard looks a lot better. The hammock never got messed up. All this looks good. This door's supposed to be closed, I'm sure. It took a beating on there. It's like a bunch of shit all over it. Rain and wind and what else have you. You can see out in the woods that the woods are pretty beat up bad too. So I'm going to move along with this video. Now, here's the scary part about all this. Oh, this is the fresh logs that we chopped up. I figured I would keep those for kindling. Okay, so you're going to see the mess. And we didn't actually even do this. This is just what happened in the storm. That's just tons and tons of limbs that fell. Now, this tree right here, this one, is actually uprooted and it's laying on another tree. This tree out here, this long one, is worse, and it's caught in between another tree. If that tree right there falls, which it's already uprooted out of its roots and its ground on the other side of it, if it falls, the top of it will hit this whole fence area. It'll take that all out because you can tell the projection in which it would fall. But the other thing about this middle tree right here, is holding it up with a pitchfork center. So anyway, very dangerous. Both of those two leaning trees are dangerous. Mike actually, I guess, tried to help these guys out over here by cutting their pine up because he's got a huge pine down. Obviously, you've got fence damage. You had 3 trees that were laying on this tree. We cut them all off and cut them into little pieces. So, as you'll be able to see over here, he's got a big pine to clean up in his backyard, but that looks like the brunt of his damage. So, yeah, anyway. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good. The only other thing I'm concerned with is that big gigantic piece hanging right there, and it's barely hanging and swaying, and it's a really big piece of wood, and if it fell it would probably cut you in half. So we need someone to take that out. I figured I could probably do it with a damn shotgun because it's just barely hanging on, but it is pretty big. Video doesn't do it justice. So, but your hammock is fine. Alright, that concludes the rest of this videos. I will try to shrink them down and send them to you via email. And hopefully you get them. Okay, babe. Miss ya. See you back soon. Bye.